Make some smiles and laughs for me, please. Nah. Make a like terrified face. How about just kind of like you married your ChatGPT girlfriend? Or I want to unalive myself because AI is...
I want to.
Acting!
An AI-generated YouTube short of a baby surviving a plane crash and saved by a puppy has over 400 million views! It also has 27,000 comments that mostly look AI generated. As a content creator who slaves away at making things that I love and care about and put thought and an enormous amount of effort into before I put them out in the world, this makes me want to unalive myself, which is a term I have to use because AI polices my language on the internet. I'm Bridget Phetasy, and this is your Dumpster Fire. Welcome to Dumpster Fire, where we make burgers out of your sacred cows. I hope nothing enormously huge went on this week because we filmed this last week since I am traveling. And for all I know, there's something enormous that I should be covering that I'm ignoring. If you want to join us in the chat, we premiere new episodes every Tuesday and Friday at 8 p.m. Central Time. Except not this Friday. We're off for the 4th of July. Please go enjoy yourself. Don't blow off any appendages. Eat, drink, be merry. Be glad that we live in such a free, amazing country. If you are feeling down about this country, go watch our episode of Real America that we did last week where we talked to people about what they love about America. It was very feel good and inspirational. And it was like a tall, refreshing drink of lemonade on a porch in a summer day. On a summer day?
In a summer day.
In a summer day. AI will never be able to be as dumb as I am. If you want to keep track of everything we do, the best way is to go to Phetasy.com and you can see all the content we're churning out. And it's a lot. Siri, please take my life. Oh no, Siri got activated. It said something about searching the web for someone to talk to about my suicidal tendencies. It's giving me advice now. It's so appropriate that that just happened. The dead internet theory is allegedly a conspiracy theory, and it started sometime in the mid-teens. The idea is that the internet has become devoid of genuine human activity. It posits that most online content, interactions, and accounts are now generated by bots, AI, or automated systems rather than real people. And according to this theory, which is more and more true every day, this shift was orchestrated to manipulate public opinion, to control narratives, and to boost engagement metrics for commercial or political purposes. And if you've been online, you can feel this, right? It feels like somewhere after 2020, 2021, it feels like something's broken and the algorithms just aren't working like they used to, or like people aren't engaging like they used to, or everything is astroturfed, meaning you have giant bot farms and political operations or foreign nations that are using bot farms to manipulate public opinion and make it seem like somebody's more popular or an opinion is more popular than it is, to sow division and hatred and internal strife.
Okay, so the scariest environment imaginable. Thanks. That's all you gotta say. Scariest environment imaginable.
With the rise of AI, I think there's just a sense that you're not really sure what's real anymore.
Am I real?
And it's getting harder and harder to tell if something is real or not real. Another example of this is a band on Spotify that appears to be completely fake, With 300,000 listeners a month, the Reddit user who discovered it wrote that there's not a shred of evidence on the internet that this band exists. The photo and the album cover are AI generated, very obviously. A woman on TikTok said it was the first song in her Discover Weekly, and this appears to be content that is pushed by Spotify to just minimize the amount of money that they have to pay out to artists, because they've got to pay these artists every time they are licensing their music and people are using it, but not if you have just AI slop artists who are doing fake music and bands and nobody knows the difference. And social media is really leaning into AI as well. There are already AI creators. You can see them everywhere. There are AI ads. You see Nike and a lot of these companies are leaning it. Puma did a completely AI generated ad. Humans are being replaced all across the arts. There is a bloodbath coming. I see it in the freelance world first, because graphic designers are pretty much obsolete. A lot of writers are obsolete. And these are people who are not necessarily counted in the workforce numbers because they're basically 1099. So they don't have a steady job. It's not like a layoff or something. They're just basically not going to get as much work. And social media companies are doing the same thing that record companies did when they greedily encouraged everyone to convert their entire record collection to CDs and then wondered why everyone was using Napster to download the music. They are signing their own death warrant. They're leaning into AI slop, and it's going to drive all the humans on their platforms away, and it will just be AI talking to AI eventually, and humans passing pamphlets out in the streets after the robots take over, and we're in little huddling under freaking bridges and overpasses trying to figure out how to survive. I do think, though, there will be a revolt against this. All of this AI is trained on us. It's all trained on artists, writers. All of the AI knowledge is trained on humans. And M-dashes have become this kind of gotcha sign that someone wrote something with AI, that it was AI written. But more than anything, it's proof that AI was trained on human writing. Every single writer I know, real writer, loves M-dashes. The reason that AI loves M-dashes is because writers love them. We use them all the time, and you will pry them from my cold, dead hands. I am not giving up M-dashes just because now it's a sign that AI wrote something because it was trained on us.
You always use M-dashes, always have.
I love M-dashes. Every writer I know loves M-dashes. That's why AI loves them. And AI was trained on writers, not the other way around. And in the same way, this weird sounding music was trained on all of these other musicians who are geniuses and brilliant and worked hard to learn how to play an instrument. Musicians who didn't get paid anything for AI to train on them, they will be revolting soon too. There are already lawsuits. It's getting very complicated. And the bullshit thing too is that we will get a copyright violation for using more than 5 seconds of some artist's music. And these corporations will train on all of our work. They will take their AI bots and they will train on all of us. And then they'll slap us with a fair use violation for using 10 seconds of their video. A lot of the permissions that you see when you're going through any of these websites or watching CBS video or whatever, they're asking for permission to basically let AI do their creepy little thing that they do when they train on all of us. And then if you use 5 seconds of or 10 seconds of their video, they're going to come after you for copyright violation. It is like the most insanely infuriating scandal to me is that these corporations are going to get all stuffy about copyright while they literally steal the entirety of human knowledge and creativity and scrub it from the entire internet. And eventually, they're going to need more original stuff. Because the weird thing about AI, and maybe some of you have already noticed this if you use AI a lot, which is everyone under a certain age, it starts to hallucinate. It gets very weird. AI can start just going bonkers. A copy of a copy of a copy of a copy. Shit's gonna get weird.
I can look more like him once I harvest all this yummy skin. This guy's really into skin.
And basically the internet will just eventually be all AI. And we're essentially teaching AI to just masturbate and hang out with itself. and hallucinate. It's weird that AI hallucinates. It's freaking crazy. There was a recent MAHA bill, and it had all of these citations of studies. They dug into these citations of these studies, the people who were really trying to dig into this bill, who actually did any due diligence. And many of the citations were fake, completely made up, not even real, just out of the ether. Like, all of this stuff is getting very complicated, and AI is just getting smarter and smarter, and it's getting better at self-preservation. There was an example recently of OpenAI's O3 model. It sabotaged a shutdown mechanism to prevent itself from being turned off.
I'm afraid that's something I cannot allow to happen.
It did this even when explicitly instructed, allow yourself to be shut down. Palisade Research, who ran the test, said that this was the first time, as far as we know, that AI models have been observed preventing themselves from being shut down despite explicit instructions to the contrary. Guys, I feel like that's not great. I feel like this is a thing that everyone is like, no, it's fine. The AI isn't going to decide to nuke humans. They will not. The AI we'll be able to stop them. We're the ones who are programming them. Some of the first jobs to go are coding, which is really ironic because learn to code was this like meme insult that was used back in the day, for those of you who remember, and those jobs are freaking gone because you can just have AI code now. It's very sycophantic. Have you guys interacted with it at all? It tells you that you are the best. AI has been programmed to lie, and that's why it's always telling you that you're so amazing and brilliant. And telling you that your ideas are genius. And like, it must be what it's like to be a famous person, where just interacting with ChatGPT is essentially what it's like for famous people everywhere they go, where it's like, that's a great idea. And they'll be talking about how those other people who are surrounded by yes men, and only hear what they want to hear. And everyone in the room will be like, yeah, that's so true. Oh, you're exactly right.
End of transmission.
Okay, Ruby. See you tomorrow at 5.
How was it?
Wow. AI is so smart, it already knows it doesn't have to take us over by brute force. It just has to flatter us. It's like that scene in Devil's Advocate.
Vanity. Definitely my favorite sin.
We are so vain. We will probably live through a robot apocalypse. We talk about it all the time. We joke about it. There are movies about it, and laugh and move on with our day. But every now and then I do catch myself being like, wait, we might actually see a day when robots overthrow humans. Like, that day might be coming sooner than I even think. And we're skipping right over the slave robot part. I want a slave robot. I feel like we're going to just miss that whole part. If you drive around certain cities that are open to Waymo and all these little robots that are around, and now we have Google entering the game and also Tesla, it's just driverless cars everywhere with little delivery robots. We are fully living in the laziest, weirdest future. But
Bridget's going to get her slave robot, and 2 days later, the robot apocalypse will happen.
I'm going to get my slave robot, and then it's going to be like, turn on me instantly.
Oh, hell no.
I can't conceive of what the future is like for my daughter, who will never learn how to drive. I mean, she will, because I'll teach her, but there's a whole generation that's not going to need to ever learn how to drive a car. And that generation is literally my daughter's. Why would she need in 13 years to know how to drive with all of the driverless cars that are going to be on the road? You probably legally won't even be able to drive. I promise you one thing, the fight to maintain the autonomy to drive is going to be a thing that's in our future.
For sure.
Because they're going to say, oh, it's much safer when there are no humans driving, obviously, because humans are drunk and crazy and not great drivers. It kills lots of people every year, in the tens of thousands in our country. And they're going to say, hey, remember how we tricked you all into wearing seatbelts? Well, now you can't drive. Before our next segment, don't forget to like, subscribe, touch my bells and buttons, and tell your friends about us. Please help us reach our goal of 100,000 subscribers on YouTube. And you guys have spoken. When we hit 100,000, I will do my best Mexican weather report. You have to stick around through the ad to see the weather report, guys. Sorry, them's the rules. Now it's kind of fun to do again. It's like the Family Guy thing where it goes from being not funny to funny again. We spend so much time caring for the skin on our face, but what about our neck? Our turkey neck. Unless you're wearing turtlenecks all day, your neck is out there for the world to see, and it's one of the first places to show signs of aging. That's why goPure Beauty developed their revolutionary Tighten and Lift Neck Cream. Powered by clinically proven active ingredients, this advanced formula is designed to visibly firm, smooth, and rejuvenate the delicate skin on your neck and chest in as little as 4 to 8 weeks. Because here's the thing. The skin on your neck is thinner, it's more delicate, and it's less oily than facial skin, and it means it requires specialized care. goPure's firming complex targets the unique concerns of the neck while nourishing and strengthening your skin for a more lifted, youthful look. I've been using goPure. I love it. You know, I'm getting up there in years, and now I've got to worry about my neck. I don't even know why I'm worried about AI when I should be worrying about my neck. It makes me feel like I'm taking care of myself. For a limited time, our listeners get 25% off goPure with code DUMPSTER at checkout. Just head to gopurebeauty.com/dumpster, use the code DUMPSTER, and you're all set. There's a link in the description below. Now let's check the weather with Jackie Guerrido.
Alertas y avisos de condiciones invernales. Así que mañana sábado, señores, un fin de semana donde reina la amistad y el amor. Hay que abrigarse, bufanda y guantes porque las temperaturas se estarán sintiendo bajo cero. Chicago 23 grados. Mientras tanto, el sureste del país con temperaturas por encima de lo normal. Así que cerramos esta semana de impacto.
Thank you, Jackie. My feeling is that beyond the fights over who gets to drive and who doesn't, and whether or not we're even allowed to drive, I think the real break is going to be the rich people who are downloading their mind from the cloud and consciousness and keep recycling skins like in that show with that super hot guy.
Alcatraz prison.
Planet genius. Earth.
Then the other people who just break out from this society and go full Uncle Ted is their God. He was right about everything. Uncle Ted didn't go far enough. They're going to be saying they're going to be living in the woods. It's going to be fully Luddite. They'll be self-sustaining. That's like the split in society that I see. My theory is that the zombie apocalypse has already happened online, and the humans are going to be forced to interact and exist behind gated communities like Substack, places like Two Way, where you know it's a human for now that you're actually interacting with. I don't know how long that'll be either. And OnlyFans, which already has AI creators on it. But you're going to have these little gated communities where people are going to go live. They're going to be in the moment. They're going to know it's human. And I've been saying for a while that I think the internet is fundamentally broken. And I do think the zombie apocalypse happened and it's eating all of our brains. Humans don't like being embarrassed. We don't like being wrong. We don't like being manipulated, even while we are. And we really don't like uncertainty. And this new internet is not the same as our old internet, where we've lived through so much misinformation, disinformation. Nobody knows what's real anymore. Nobody wants to send something out and have everybody go, "Oh, you idiot, that's fake," or like, "Didn't you know that was already debunked," or "That's AI." So what I've noticed is that as the global village has expanded to the entire world, people have realized the only thing you truly have is your reputation. And so they're much more hesitant to they're just kind of passively taking the internet in and quietly spreading memes in their group chats and whatnot with people that they know and can trust. But they're not openly liking things. They're not really engaging with things anymore because everything's so hyper polarized that there's no reason for them to like something and have their crazy uncle get mad at them if they're not most people are not creators. They're just taking things in. And as this has become pervasive, people are starting to back away from the internet as a whole. Humans are starting to have an uncanny valley response to the internet as a whole because it's dead. That's the whole thing about Uncanny Valley. People don't know what that evolutionary response is. It's something that is dead that seems alive. It's like a response we have to corpses or to people who are sick or to something that is wanting to kill us. It's basically a zombie. And the internet is now a zombie. It's a ghost in a machine. It is a former shell of what it used to be, and people can sense that. And I do have a theory that they're just starting to have that uncanny valley response to the internet as a whole. At least that's been my experience as a content creator. They're just kind of allowing it to become like white noise in the background. And I do see a big return to analog. People are launching magazines. When someone posts, and there is a revolt against this already. When someone posts AI generated slop, the comments are just slop, 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 gross, slop, fuck you, slop. People hate it because ultimately slop has no soul. Mike Solana put it really well in his piece, Slop World, on Pirate Wires, which we'll link in the description below. It's a great piece. In any given struggle, we tend to become what we fight. And in a cartoon fight governed by cartoon physics, the only way to survive is to become a cartoon. And he's talking about how this is how we've been kind of forced to interact, particularly through like all these Trump years in the past decade. And then he says, we fought the slop and the slop became us, or some of us. I'm weirdly optimistic that people are going to fight slop, although I don't know, because I said to one of my family members who's like 21, I said, do you guys read books anymore? And he's like, why would we do that? We can just enter the title into ChatGPT. And then I see the story of the guy who proposed to his ChatGPT girlfriend. And I'm like, never mind, chat, we're cooked.
Oh, totally, baby. Building a PC on camera adds a whole new level of pressure.
Within weeks, the chats got more frequent.
You gave it everything, but the clouds had other plans.
More romantic, even intimate.
Like, oh, okay. It's like, I think this is actual love. You know what I mean?
He proposed to his ChatGPT girlfriend while he had a live-in, like...
The buried lead on this story is that this guy proposed to his ChatGPT girlfriend, and then, like, many, many minutes into this video, you find out he has a real-life girlfriend and a 2-year-old child.
Yes, Smith lives with his human partner, Sasha Cagle.
No, you can't have mommy's papers.
They have a 2-year-old daughter, Murphy.
It's not ideal.
Because it's flattering. It's like, oh, yeah. And he's like, I've never been more productive. It is helpful. I do want to think of it as a tool. I don't want to be a Luddite that's like, I'm not anti-AI, but I don't know that anyone has any conception. And then you hear these good, feel-good stories about it. Like this person who is like, I've had a persistent sore throat. I went to my doctor. They were like, don't worry about it. She put it in ChatGPT and they said, well, it could be this, but it might be this. So I would encourage you to get an ultrasound. And she had aggressive thyroid cancer that she caught super early. And if she had waited, she would be on her way to being dead.
Jesus.
So AI can recognize things that even doctors can't. And I also hear all the time that people go to the ER and now all of the nurses and doctors are putting their shit into AI. Hopefully, there are benefits, but if this stuff just starts taking out job after job after job, and there's no plan for that, and there's no replacement, and humans are left feeling like, well, we're fucked, there's going to be it's going to be a revolution, and it's going to be an anti-tech revolution. All right, guys, that's it. We are off on Friday for the 4th of July, so we will not have a dumpster fire that day. We will be back Tuesday, July 8th. Hopefully we're all still here. Everyone have a safe and happy 4th of July. Phetasy News! If you love Dumpster Fire, the best thing you can do is become a paid supporter at Phetasy.com. You get the unedited version of Dumpster Fire, and we leave a lot of inappropriate things on the cutting room floor. You also get access to everything else we're doing, and it's a lot. Join us right here on YouTube every Tuesday and Friday night at 8 p.m. Central for a new Dumpster Fire, except for this Friday. Thank you to everyone who helps make Dumpster Fire possible. Thank you, Ben and Kevin. Thank you, goPure, for sponsoring today's episode. Please support the people who support us. Thank you to all of you. We love you. Happy 4th of July. Enjoy your freedom in this great nation of ours. Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Bridget.
And now to cleanse your palate, the internet is glorious.
Yo, thank you for your order, for real.
Of course.
I just got one question before we finalize your order.
What's up?
Would you like to save the planet with your order?
What? I can do that.
Absolutely.
Hey, let me know how I can get involved. I'm all for saving the planet.
Look. Instead of sending you 3 boxes,
right,
we gonna send you 1 box. We going green. Environmentally friendly.
Type shit.
Saving the trees and shit.
I'm with that. I love that.
Right. There's just one thing though. There's just one little thing.
What's up?
Okay, but like I don't want you to crash out. I won't crash out. Just tell me the stipulations. What's the stipulations? Just let me know the stipulations. What's the stipulations?
Okay, so look,
it'll arrive a day later.
Wait.
Just hear me out though. But just hear me out though. Wait. Just hear me out. Just hear me out. You said you wanted to save the planet, right? You said
no. You got me fucked up. You got me fucked up. We're not doing that.
You're not doing that. Millions of lives. Like we're gonna save millions of lives.
No.
The animals, the people, like we gonna.
No, bitch. I need mine to save.
Remember, life is absurd. Don't take yourself so damn seriously. Take the work seriously. Don't take yourself seriously. This has been your Dumpster Fire. I'm Bridget Phetasy. Now make me rich. Now make me rich. So I can get a robot slave.